Hi guys, my name is Becca and I consider myself to be an energy healer. There are many things that fall under energy healing, and if you want to be specific, I can tell you that I am a master Reiki healer. I work with theta, I work with stones, color, vibrations, the angels, different deities, and last but not least, in fact he's the greatest, Source. Source is where I pull the energy. I am simply a channel. I myself, Rebecca Peterson, do not do the healings. My ego is outside of all of this. I am just the vessel, or the pipe you would say, who takes the energy and transfers it into you, your body, your mind, your soul. Reiki healing is actually very beneficial to not only the spiritual body, but the mental, the emotional, and the physical. When I first start on a client, a person, a human being, whether it be someone I know or someone I don't know, if it's distant or if it's here in my home, or I'm in a hotel right now, no matter where I go, I am always making sure to first pray. Always pray. Doesn't matter what religion you're calling on. You need to always be surrounded by the white light, the healing light, the angels, the guides, whatever it is that you feel comfortable with. I make sure to call on my angels, their angels, Source, always Source, because where else am I going to get the energy, and make sure that you are protected and open, and use your intuition. Your intuition should be strong enough. If you're an energy healer yourself, you should be intuitive enough to pick up on what is needed on that client or on yourself, and pick up on what the angels are saying or what they are not saying. A lot of the time your ego can get in there and tell you to feel this or know that, and it can get confusing. It can, but I try to keep it as peaceful as I can. So anyways, I started off with a beautiful light, and I make sure I pray. And as a Reiki healer, a master Reiki healer will feel that energy, that weight on her hands, his hands, when he invokes those certain symbols and brings that energy down. Being a master Reiki healer, I have certain attunements that allow me to make the healings more intense. I allow the energy portals, the channels, whatever you want to say, through myself to be intensified into the client. So not only do I call on my angels and have a white light, but I make sure that I listen to my intuition. I like to have my own routine, starting from the crown down to the feet. There are normally 19 to 26 positions. If you're going to do a full hour to an hour and a half on a client, listen to your intuition. Sometimes it can go longer, sometimes you can do less. I will be doing my first distant healing tonight on a young woman. I do have a little bit of anxiety towards it because I've never done it. But it doesn't matter what you know, what you trust, or what you understand. Reiki will always work. Even when you have shut it off and you have cleansed yourself and walked away from that client, the energy will still process through and continue to heal that being, because now you've opened a channel into their body, their mind, and their soul. Especially if they're receptive and they're excited about it, like she's excited. So that pumps me up. I'm ready to go. Still don't know what she will expect, because there are hundreds of different things that the physical body, the mental, and the emotional bodies will go through. I've had clients in bad pain. And you're probably thinking, no, Reiki is pure, it's gentle. No, when it's pulling out that negative energy, it will cause pain. It'll give them flashes of color. They may even cry out. They may cry. They may get angry. They may tell you to stop. They may feel heat and cool. There may be vibrations. I've even had clients think that someone was touching them. When I was clear on the other side, on the other end, I do my best to listen to my intuition when it comes to touching the client or keeping my hands off. And I make sure to always make sure that client, even if you have to be the one to do it yourself because they may not understand the visualization of grounding themselves, make sure they're grounded. One of my first clients, I didn't ground, and she sat in pain, and I was like, oh my God, what is going on? And then instantly it was, ground her. I grounded her through her feet, made sure she was connected to those 3 stones that I love, and that pain, everything just straight out. She went from wow, ow, pulling her legs around to she could feel almost like her muscles were being stretched and dissipated, and everything was being pulled, and then it dissipated away. She relaxed and she felt amazing. She got a solid night's sleep. She didn't have any more pain. I still have to work on her ankle because Reiki, depending on the chronic or acute problem, will take a series of healings until it's finally done and gone. Some of them are deep rooted and some of them can be taken care of right that. She had itchiness and took care of that. That was gone. Her hip was great. She finally slept. She still has ankle issues, and she's just a better, happier, positive person. One of the biggest things about her was that she was open and receiving before I'd even tried. In fact, she was begging me. She was already taking her shoes off and saying, please, will you do this? Fine, I'll do it. In fact, I loved it. I've got another client, like I said, who's doing her first distant healing. I'm ready, I'm excited. But, man, I could go on for days about this. Always make sure they're covered. At the very end, when you go through your cycles of hand positions, and make up your own. There is nothing saying you have to do something. Make sure you do use the Reiki symbols. If you are attuned, first, second, or third, you will know these symbols. Go through and use them on your client. At the very end, make sure you wash their aura and cleanse them before you I just forgot. Before you unground them and close off their chakras, make sure, or not close them off, but just stop the energy source from coming through. They don't need to be constantly flying. So what happens when you got too much energy inside, you'll feel like you're floating. Ground them, clean them. Make sure you yourself drink water. Watch yourself in your mind's eye being washed by a waterfall, being cleansed, and having those angels come around you and basically just release you of everything that you may have gotten. Let's hope you didn't. And are there for you at the end of this session. It's very important. I just had a message pop up. Sorry, guys. With the client, you're going to make sure that you cleanse their aura. Wake them up gently if you have to. Tell them what they need to be doing once they leave. I recommend doing mini sessions, and I'm going to be doing 5 half-hour sessions on this woman with the long distance or the distant Reiki until I intuitively feel she needs more, or she'll tell me how she's feeling. Hour sessions are actually very beneficial if you've got someone physically there, because you can touch them where you're needing to around the chakras, and you can physically see and watch what's going on with their body. I like to pay attention to every little thing that happens, the twitching, the noises, the colors. I see a lot, clairvoyantly, psychically, whatever you want to say. My angels are there. Her angels were there. One of the craziest things I think I've experienced so far, I'm only 27 and I've only been doing this for a couple years, was I was able to flush her with color. I love working with color and working with the angels. Anyways, flushing her with color, and she would say, oh, I see this color. Like, what? She can see it. How cool. She's really in tune to her body. Well, I was up at her crown just beginning, and I could see the angels, 2 of them down at her feet, her angels, because mine are always on my side or somewhat around me, guiding me. I would go down to, it was her right side. I got down to her right side knee, and she was feeling a lot of heat in the kneecaps. And I watched one of the angels walk from her feet down to her calf, and the other one went around, this white light, just beautiful white. I knew who they were, but these white lights right at her head, and they were just kind of balancing around her as I was shifting around her body. Anyways, there are many, many things that you're going to experience as long as you are intuitive, open-minded, receptive, respectful of the Reiki, respectful of Source, and the pure beings on the other side. You don't have to understand it. You do not have to sit there and evaluate or analyze it. It works whether you believe it or not. So anyways, I hope this gives you guys a little bit of a clearing. I do it for free. Okay, I allow myself to be a channel for free. It's actually Source that does the healing. So hit me up, let me know how you take this video. If you want a healing, if you know someone that wants a healing, I can do them distant and physical. So I'm open all the time, as long as it doesn't take up my day where I don't have time to breathe. I'm starting to book up, and it's nuts. I'm excited, and I'm gonna have to start a website or something where I can start getting testimonials and people to book themselves. But anyways, I love you all. We love you all, and I wish you a good night.